Hello students, welcome you all to the video lecture on course turbo machines. So we were discussing about the module number 1, that is introduction on the turbo machines. In the previous lectures, we have seen the definition of turbo machines, the classification of turbo machines, the principal components of turbo machines, the differences between positive displacement machine and turbo machines. Next, we have seen how to get the dimensionless numbers for a particular flow problem by using the Buckingham pi theorem, and we have obtained the four pi terms, that is pi 1, pi 2, pi 3, and pi 4. We have also seen the significance of those pi terms or the dimensionless numbers in the analysis of turbo machines. Okay, next we have seen the concept of specific speed, and we have derived the two important equations, namely the specific speed of a pump, that is for power absorbing turbo machines, and secondly the specific speed of turbine for power generating turbo machines or power producing turbo machines. Okay, uh, this is the fifth lecture on the turbo machines introduction model number 1. So the content of this video lecture is effect of Reynolds number on the flow, effects of Reynolds number. Okay. Next, we'll see the unit quantities like unit flow, unit speed, and unit power. And also we'll see the equations for these unit quantities. Okay. The first we'll see the effect of Reynolds number. In a pipe flow, the Reynolds number is given by Re equals to rho Vd by mu or Vd by nu. So basically, the Reynolds number is defined as a ratio of inertial force to the viscous force. Inertial force to the viscous force. Okay. So here, mathematically, I can write Re equals to, it is the dimensionless number which is given by the rho Vd by mu, rho Vd by mu, where rho is the density of fluid, V is mean velocity of flow, D is the diameter of the pipe, and mu is dynamic viscosity or absolute viscosity. Now, if we take the density to the denominator, I mean the density that is mu divided by density, then absolute viscosity to the density, the ratio is known as the kinematic viscosity, which is given by the nu. So pronunciation should be very careful while doing the pronunciation. This is nothing but mu. This is nothing but mu. Okay. Now this is the kinematic viscosity, which is nothing but nu, which is nothing but nu. I hope you are familiar with this. Okay. Now, so where V is a mean velocity of the fluid flow, D is the diameter of the pipe, and it is the important parameter to characterize the nature of flow. And we know that the Reynolds number is a very important dimensionless number, which is used to classify the nature of flow, whether the flow is laminar, whether the flow is turbulent. Okay. Now, if we consider the flow through circular pipe, let us consider the pipe which is having the circular section, and let us take D as the diameter of the pipe. Let us take D as the diameter of the pipe, and some fluid is flowing, say water, which is flowing through the pipe, and V is the velocity, mean velocity of the flow. Okay. Now, if the Reynolds number is less than, if the Reynolds number is less than 2000, if the Reynolds number is less than 2000, then it is called as the laminar flow. Then it is called as laminar flow. Then it is called as the laminar flow. Okay. Now, if the Reynolds number is more than 4000, if Re is greater than 4000, then it is known as the turbulent flow. Then it is known as the turbulent flow. Now, what about this if the Reynolds number is in between 2000 and 4000? So that is known as the transitional flow. The transitional flow. The transition from laminar to turbulent is known as the transitional flow. So remember, in a flow through a circular pipe, if the Reynolds number is less than 2000, then it is called laminar flow. If the Reynolds number is more than 4000, then it is called turbulent flow. Okay, so this is how we can classify the nature of flow based on the Reynolds number value. Okay, so here, if the Reynolds number is less than 2000, then what does it represent? We know that Reynolds number is the ratio of inertial force to the viscous force. It is the ratio of inertial force to the viscous force. To the viscous force. Okay. Now, if the Reynolds number is less than 2000, what does it represent? The effect of viscous force is more as compared to the inertial force. As compared to the inertial force. If the Reynolds number is more than 4000, then what does it represent? The effect of inertial force is more than that of the viscous force. Okay. So in laminar flow, the fluid is flowing in the form of layers, one after the other, one after the other. Okay. So these layers are exactly parallel to each other. These fluid molecules, they'll flow in parallel way. Okay. So there is no zigzag motion of the fluid molecules. But in case of turbulent flow, these fluid molecules will flow in zigzag manner, in zigzag random manner. Okay, so that is known as the turbulent flow. So these are all the basics that already you have studied in your fluid mechanics subject in fourth semester. Okay, now what is the effect of this Reynolds number in the fluid flow through the turbo machines? In the fluid flow through the turbo machines. Okay, so however, the fluid handled by turbo machines are those that have very low value of viscosity, that do very little variation during the process, such as air, steam, water, etc. So remember guys, the fluid which are using in the turbo machines, they are having the less value of viscosity. They are having the less value of viscosity, such as the air, steam, water, etc. Okay, they are less viscous in nature. So that's why the effect of Reynolds number is it does not have any prompting effect or considerable effect on the performance of turbo machines. Okay, and hence the variation of the variation in any Reynolds number, any variation in Reynolds number will cause will not cause any much effect on the performance. Okay, so this is the expected question in exam. The question will be like this: explain the effect of Reynolds number on the performance of turbo machines. So you have to say, as the turbo machines are using the fluids which are having less viscous in nature, like water, air, steam, etc. So the Reynolds number effect or any variation in Reynolds number will not cause any effect on the performance of turbo machine. Is that clear? Okay, I hope this is clear. Next is the very important topic is unit quantities. So there are basically three unit quantities, namely unit flow, unit speed, and unit power. Okay, so for each we will define, we'll give the definition, and after that we'll obtain the formula. Okay, fine. So the first one is unit flow. Unit flow is the flow of 1 meter cube that occurs to the turbo machine while working under the head of 1 meter. Okay, so unit flow is the flow through the turbo machine, flow of fluid through the turbo machine when it is working under the head of 1 meter, when it is working under the head of 1 meter. Okay, so that is known as unit flow. Now we know that q is proportional to root 2 gh. Q is proportional to root 2 gh. So how we got it? See here, listen here carefully. So we know that q is the product of cross sectional area into mean velocity. The flow rate q is equal to the product of cross section area and mean velocity. Now the mean velocity is also equals to square root of 2gh, square root of 2gh. How we can obtain this? How it is v equals to square root of 2gh? That means the potential energy flow is converted into kinetic energy. So if we ignore any kind of losses, I can write the potential energy equals to kinetic energy if we ignore any kind of losses. Now potential energy is given by mgh, the energy possessed by the body by the virtue of its position. This is the definition of potential energy. And the kinetic energy can be written as half mv square, the energy possessed by the body by the virtue of its motion. That is half mv square, half mv square. Now here m will get cancelled, and just do the cross multiplication here and take the v, the square root square to the left hand side. You will get v equals to root of 2gh, v equals to root of 2gh. So this is how we can get v equals to root 2gh. Fine, this is square root of 2gh. Okay, now q is proportional to, I can write q equals to root 2gh because area is constant. If we replace the equal to sign and the constant by a proportionality sign, I can write q is proportional to root of 2gh, and here also root 2g is a constant, so I can write the q is proportional to root of h, or q is equals to k times root h. If we replace the proportionality sign by equality sign, then I can take the constant k with this root h, okay, where k is a proportionality constant, where k is the proportionality constant. Okay, now as per the definition of unit speed or unit flow or unit discharge, as per the definition of unit discharge, if h equals to 1 meter, if h equals to 1 meter, then q will be equals to qu according to the definition. What the definition says: the unit flow is a flow of fluid through the pipe or any turbo machine which is working under the head of 1 meter. If h equals to 1 meter, then q will be equals to qu. Okay? Q will be equals to q. So therefore, if we use this in this equation, I can write uh, h equals to 1. Okay, root of 1 equals to 1. So q equals to qu. So k will be equals to qu. K will be equals to qu. So therefore, q equals to qu times root h, or qu equals to, just take the okay, do the cross multiplication. So q by root h. So this is a required formula. This is the required formula for unit flow. So in numerical, sometimes he will ask calculate the value of unit flow. Just you have to use this formula, that is qu equals to q by root h. That's it. And as far as units are considered, q is in terms of meter cube per second, and h is in terms of meters. Q is in terms of meter cube per second, and h is in terms of only meters. Okay, so this is how we can obtain the formula for unit flow. Fine. Next, similarly, unit speed. So unit speed is, again, it is a speed of machine which is working under the head of 1 meter. It is a speed of machine running under the speed of 1 meter, running under the head of 1 meter. So we know that the head coefficient is given by gh divided by n square d square, which is equals to constant. That is a pi 2 term. Pi 2 equals to gh divided by n square d square, which is equals to constant. Okay. Now, after doing the cross multiplication, I can write d is constant, diameter of runner which is constant, g is also constant. So h is directly proportional to n square. H is directly proportional to n square, or n square is proportional to h, or if we take the square here, we'll take the root. So n is proportional to, directly proportional to root h, and n is equals to k times root h, where k is a proportionality constant. Similarly, by the definition of unit speed, it is a speed of machine when it is working under the head of 1 meter. So if h equals to 1, root of 1 equals to 1, again n will be equals to nu. So k is equals to nu. I repeat, if in this equation, if we use h equals to 1, n will become nu, n suffix u, unit speed. Then k will be equals to nu, because root of 1 equals to 1. Then n equals to nu. So substitute k equals to nu, k equals to nu. So we'll get, after substituting k equals to nu, do the cross multiplication, you will get nu equals to n by root h. So this is the required formula to calculate unit speed of any machine in terms of rpm. Of course, N is in RPM and H is in meters. Okay. The last one is unit power. So it is the power obtained by turbo machine or a particular machine which is working under the head of 1 meter. Which is working under the head of 1 meter. Definition is simple. Definition for unit flow, unit speed, and unit power, they are similar. Okay, fine. So when it is working under the head of 1 meter. So in order to obtain the formula or the equation for PU, that is unit power, let us consider the power coefficient, that is pi 3. We know that pi 3 equals to P divided by rho n cube d to the power 5, which is equals to constant. So P is proportional to n cube d to the power 5. P is proportional to n cube d to the power 5. So listen here carefully. This is important one. Rho is constant because the turbo machines, if we are considering here, we are considering the turbo machine which is handling the incompressible fluid. Say for example, water. So density remains constant for water. But if the turbo machine is using air or other gas as a working fluid, we can't take rho as a constant. Rho is variable there. Okay? Fine. So let us consider water as an example. So P is directly proportional to n cube d to the power 5, and this is proportional to, this can be splitted as n square d square, and here n d cube. When the bases are same, indices should be added. So n and n, here to the power 3, it will become to the power 3, and here to the power 5. Just I have splitted here n cube and d to the power 5. That's fine. It is proportional to, it is again proportional to. So how we can write n square d square as? So can you remember that formula, that is head coefficient pi 2 is given by gh by n square d square? This we have seen in the last video lecture. If you have not followed the last video lecture, just click on to my playlist, you will get the video. Okay, fine. This is pi 2 equals to gh by n square d square. Since g is constant, pi 2 is constant, so I can write n square d square just after doing the cross multiplication. N square d square is proportional to, n square d square is proportional to h. Okay, so n square d square, in place of n square d square I have written h. Similarly n d cube. So we know that pi 1 term, that is flow coefficient, is given by the formula q divided by n d cube, q divided by n d cube, n d cube. So therefore, say pi 1 is a constant. So if we replace the proportionality sign and equal to sign, okay, sorry, if we replace the constant and the equality sign, I can write nd cube equals to, or it is proportional to q. I hope this is clear. Okay, so nd cube can be written as q. Now here h as it is, and what about q? Just now we have seen, while deriving the equation for, the unit flow, I have written q as proportional to root h. Q as proportional to root h. Okay, just rewind the video and you can follow the unit flow concept, how I have written q is proportional to root h. Fine. So q is proportional to root of h, and here h is to the power 1, h to the power 1, and here h to the power 1 by 2. So 1 plus 1 by 2 is 3 by 2. So I can write here p is equals to k times h to the power 3 by 2. P equals to k times h to the power 3 by 2. So here when h equals to 1 meter, p will be equals to pu. When h equals to 1 meter, p equals to pu, and here k will be equals to pu. K will be equals to pu. So therefore substitute k equals to pu here, k equals to pu, then you will get pu equals to p divided by h to the power 3 by 2, h to the power 3 by 2. So this is how we can obtain the formula for unit power. Okay, I hope this is clear. This is how we can obtain the formula for power, that is unit power. So sometimes in examination he will ask, define unit quantities and obtain the formulas for same, obtain the equations for the same. So you should be in a position to write the definitions, which are very simple. with you need to formulate these equations, that is nu, pu and qu, unit speed, unit power and unit discharge. Okay, in the next video lecture we will see the model studies, and after that we'll solve the numericals. So numerical parts will be very interesting because I'm going to solve the numericals on board step by step. I'll solve on the board, so it will be better if you solve on the board rather than making the ppt and explaining the things. Okay, so whatever the derivations are there, whatever the numericals are there, I'll show on the board. Okay, I'll derive, I'll solve those numericals on the board systematically, and I'll upload the videos. Okay, so please like the channel, share and subscribe my channel, and don't forget to press the bell icons so that whenever you I put a new video on YouTube, you'll get the notification instantly. Okay, so stay healthy, study well. Thank you and have a nice day.